All right, everyone. Obviously, you can hear the sounds are a little bit different. Welcome to Onside Punt. But this is more appropriately an offside chat style, as I've got the luxury and the privilege of having Cad visit me in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Cad,
Hello.
welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
We can touch each other.
Don't
Hello.
touch me.
Oh, okay.
You know I live alone. I'm uncomfortable.
All right. Well, manners aside, it's lovely to be in Melbourne.
We've turned the weather on.
Really, it is.
But
Poor Melbourne.
But don't worry, we'll get to the cold in about 3 hours probably, or the rain. That's what we do here. But no, it's good to have you here, and it's much nicer just sitting on the couch chatting away.
It really is, and I think we'll have a more relaxed episode today, as you said, offside style.
Is that a good thing though? Should we be more relaxed?
Probably not.
No. It is a dangerous thing, but just think, if you want to be as relaxed as we are, sit on the couch, wind back,
Yeah.
grab a drink,
Yeah.
grab a water, whatever you feel like.
So good to be here. And it's in person as well, and we're in
Yeah.
a quiet spot. We talked about that last week. It's just nothing's really coming across the airways in the media except for the Chiefs, which we'll get to in a little bit. But we're taking this opportunity just to catch up on everything we've missed. There's been a lot of headlines that happened before we started recording that we haven't really gotten to talk about yet.
I think that was and I know we've both been wanting to have this episode because they're great stuff to talk about, because
Yeah.
there were headlines that we grabbed onto and we can't get back to, and it's like, I really want to dive in and have
Yeah,
it. Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to get your opinion on some of this stuff, because some of it I want to know what depth of do we have to care about, and then
Yeah.
the others it's like, will it have impact on the season? But that we'll get to that later though, because I've got you here in the person, and it's like, we don't have to worry about NFL too much right now.
Just a touch. Yeah, even yesterday we were saying, went to the local for a couple of beers and we're like, you're telling me all these things that I didn't know about you, even though we've been friends for years and we talk probably every day about
Yeah.
the pod. We don't genuinely catch up.
No,
We don't actually talk about what's going on.
you're very surprised to find out that I've got a card collecting hobby happening now.
You have.
Yep.
Yeah. So I get over to homie's place. He's got stacks of these collector cards, like you would have seen old baseball card style, AFL ones, certainly. But you would drop by the post box and you ended up picking up these NFL player cards.
I knew you were going to be here. A little thing I thought, we're doing this podcast, and it's like, what's a great, what kind of memorabilia can I create?
Yeah.
To for me to show my journey of the NFL. I thought, what's better than actual physical NFL cards
Yeah.
that I collect of the characters that we've found along the way. And it's like almost like a scrapbook, and it's like, you had the joy of opening a packet last night,
It was really nostalgic.
finding
Yeah.
Desmond Ridder
Yeah,
rookie cards. How good is it?
I got excited when homie got my card collection started, which,
Yeah.
sorry to Alice, but that's another hobby that I've picked up that's probably going
you're
to
in
cost me
trouble
some
now.
coins.
It's a healthy habit, Alice. It's okay.
I guess.
It's okay.
It's an investment, is
Yeah,
what we're
yeah,
going to tell
that's
them.
right.
Yeah. But then seeing the card that we opened up, which was a Trey Lance in Cowboys outfit,
Oh my God.
and we thought, is this doctored? I've never seen Trey in any Cowboys gear.
It feels uncomfortable. You're trying to reflect on what the season was last year, and and there's those moments you're like, and also it's like, wasn't he where were they?
I kind of forgot he was at the Cowboys. And or maybe it was a misprint. Maybe there's a lot of value in that
Yeah,
card.
and I also think we had the Ridder, Chris Olave rookie cards, and you're
Yeah.
like, the card people, they're as naive as we are. They thought these people were going to pop off, didn't they?
This could be worth something one day.
Yeah, we didn't find any of the true. We didn't. There's
No
not many,
CJ.
There's no Brock Purdy's around.
There's no Brock Purdy's around.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, if you find that one, you're in the bank. But but it's a good little hustle, and it's like I enjoy it, and it's a nice little scrapbook for us. And now that if you don't get involved, we get the trade cards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for. Even just playing the game. We were trading last night when we came back.
Yeah,
from the-
I did bully you a little bit.
Yeah. Well, he did pay for them, to be
Yeah,
fair.
I did scrap 3 off the deck before, by Tua Tagovailoa one. You won't get your hands on that one.
No.
Yeah.
No, I gotta earn those.
But I did get an uncomfortable amount. I did grab some 2023s by accident.
Okay.
22 season, maybe.
Yeah.
I got an uncomfortable amount of Aaron Rodgers that popped out
You
of it.
do. And he's
Yeah.
like your least favorite player.
Yeah, but it's like, again, so good to have the card of him at Green Bay of all places. because that's where it turned.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we haven't actually seen him play for the Jets, to be very fair.
Yeah, what? That was a great 3 minutes.
I think it was 4 seconds when it cracks down to it. But now, going to the States, we've talked about me getting tickets for football games.
Yeah.
I've got an opportunity to maybe go get some cards from the source.
There was a little bit of, there was that moment when you were like, I'm going to the States.
Yeah, wait a minute.
I was like, how's our dollar going?
Yeah. Not well. I can tell you firsthand, it's not strong.
But surely it's cheaper over there than in
Surely,
Australia.
yeah.
So we're going to have to get you to hunt me a little bit of merch over there. Maybe we might even have to get you to hunt some other stuff while we're over there.
Yeah, it's going to be...
Players, fans.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely do... We were talking about this off mic, but yeah, a bit of content. And I'm keen to just interview some of the people around, like, I'll be going to a Cowboys game and they're versing the Texans. I'm 100% going to be going for the Texans. I don't feel safe not being in Cowboys gear.
This is... we were discussing, like, you should do some content. We're like, no, just get immersed in this. Like get in the crowd, talk to the people, and because I would love to know if they will let a Texans point of view around. Yeah, you guys okay with thinking CJ's going to be great? Like, get him out of town. You're not welcome here.
It's an interstate rivalry
too.
State. Yeah, exactly. They're only 3 hours down the road.
Like, can't you like split between them?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think I'll have to go undercover as a Cowboys fan, and
you're gonna
I have to learn some sstats. I think.
Be careful. Maybe don't wear the onside punt shirt that time. You might get.
They might think we're a Green Bay team.
True. Oh, I never thought about that.
With our colours.
Damn it, we're gonna have to flip it for you.
Blue and white
one. We'll chuck a bit of red on there. We're sold, right?
Oh no, yeah, it's the Bills, the Giants. I can get it anywhere.
Have you ever? This is an offside chat. Have you ever noticed how many teams are red, white, and blue?
Yeah, most of them. Yeah,
it's crazy.
And the Texans as well. Like, you don't think it, but they are.
Yeah. There's a great majority of it. We'll have to do it as a trivia. Maybe you can do that when you're over there.
It's well documented that you struggle when the teams wear similar colours.
You should have seen the AFL game the other day. It was North Melbourne and Port Adelaide. They both wore white. I turned it off. It was North Melbourne, but I had to turn it off anyway.
Had nothing to do with the colours.
But it was like, you could not even give me a chance with that colour combo. But we did have I like the best thing about our catch up about your trip, and I do want to dive into the costs. We're getting into the bank. I hope you've shared that with the family and Alice, because, but I want the people to understand what it's worth to go over, because obviously, if I can, I'll sneak over myself.
Yeah,
but I like the idea of when you said you're going to go to Las Vegas. And then you get to see real Raiders fans.
I can't wait to just see a Raiders fan that is real. Like, I've not met one yet.
I jumped on the tram the other day, and the guy got on the tram with the Raiders hat, and I was like, I should just have a chat.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's too risky. I think, and he was older, and it was an old Raiders
to be
hat.
fair, and not to generalize, but anyone I see generally having Raiders merch on looks scary.
Yeah.
Like, they're tough people. They look a little bit gruffer. Brandon, my barber, I know, listens to this show. He's the sweetest guy on earth. But he looks like you wouldn't walk up to him in the street. You'd have all these ideas.
He's got ink too,
He's got a Raiders tat on his calf.
Yeah. I can't wait to meet him. It's going to be great. Especially when we have our Chargers merch on. Because I had my Chargers hat on, and I thought, he should know.
He should know.
He should know we're enemies.
Yeah.
So I balked him a bit.
Shoulder checked him on the tram.
I checked him. He said, what's happening, mate? And I was like, oh, sorry, I apologize. I fully apologize. It's not. We're enemies, but it's fine. Yeah.
Even my landscaper wears one, and I was like, oh, you're a Raiders fan. I was so excited. Like, I got way too keen. And he said, no, it's the only hat that fits my head. It crushed me.
We were talking in the episode, and we're still trying to find, we're going to send out the socials to find the unluckiest fan in Australia.
Still on the hunt.
But you know how when we have a common enemy, do we now have Chiefs are we friends now with the Raiders?
I like to think so. I think that's what Brandon and I, talk about in When I'm in the Chair. It's the fact that it's the AFC West. We ignore the Broncos and just go, can one of us just break through the Chiefs, please?
Well, we have to cause them havoc, and it's like, you or us, we don't mind anymore. Don't hurt each other. Let's just, common enemy.
I think there's still a rivalry there, but I think there should be a shared, like, if we both were at the bottom of the barrel last year and Chargers were well worse, I think we need to work as a team. Maybe some, inter-team relations. Try to bring some games.
It's like you've chosen Carlton and Essendon. It's like we've been so inept for so long now that I forgot that we hate each other.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm upset you're
With a
not
shared
here.
hatred of Collingwood.
Yeah, and I'm upset you're not here a week later because next week it'll be on for. It's a sellout, by the way. I saw this morning. So, but it's like we're only enemies once we're both good again, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of, you guys are doing pretty
good. We'll
well.
shake hands and send each other on their own way and all the best.
Yeah. Are we second and third now because of last weekend's result?
Yeah, we've got the round to play out there. It'll be interesting. So, nice. But it's if you're around Melbourne next Sunday, get to the game.
Yeah, that'll be a cracker.
Well, you can't get tickets, sorry guys.
Yeah, but get to a pub.
Yeah. There'll be plenty rolling around. But so let's break it down. So what games, give us a rundown, what games you're heading to?
So I've got to a range. So I've got Cowboys versus Texans in Dallas. So famous, stadium there, the Cowboys won.
We spoke about it, like, I don't think this has happened for a very long time. The two teams.
Yeah, they don't play that much despite being in the same state. They are in different conferences.
That's another thing about the NFL, that it's not every state does not have a team.
No.
But then some states have multiple teams.
Oh, LA, California has 49ers, Rams, used to have Raiders as well.
It's all around New York. Like they're around there.
Yeah.
So, but then, so you got that's a cracking game.
That's a cracking game. And like that was, the stadium's old now, like probably 15 years. But when it was built, it was like a spectacle. It's like SoFi is regarded now. So I'm really excited to get into Cowboys Town and go to somewhere. Like I wanted to go to a Philly game.
So
or
it is a Cowboys home game.
It is a Cowboys home game with the Texans, traveling 6 hours up the road.
Yeah.
That was, I'm excited for that one. After that, I'll be in Austin, where I'm actually catching a college football game.
City.
Yeah, I'm super keen to check it out. So Longhorns will be playing, so a college game as well.
Oh, big stadium.
Yeah, and I just want to get amongst
open
that college.
Air.
Yeah, open air. It shouldn't be too cold in Texas at the time.
I think it'll be all right.
I think it'll be a good one. So that'll be a good variety. And then, of course, ending it with the grand finale of Chargers versus Ravens at SoFi.
Okay, Chargers Raiders game. Would you prefer that it is close or that Chargers stomp them?
Oh, that's actually tough because if the Chargers are stomping the Ravens, it means something's pretty good.
Yeah, we're up and about.
We're up and about. Yeah. But like, realistic expectation, maybe I want it to be close.
Yeah.
But I also, if it was a choice, I'd happily have them stop them. Yeah.
I always think about that sometimes when I go watch sport. It's like, am I here for it to be close or am I here for a bloodbath?
Yeah, do I want a good game or not?
Yeah.
If I was at the screen, I'd want a good game. But at the Chargers last year winning 5 games, I want a stomping. I want to see it.
Well, because we discussed, like, the Panthers are now, like, no one's paying to go because there's not an entertaining game.
Exactly.
But it's like, you can go watch a bloodbath.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you'll go watch something.
Great if you're versing them. But
unfortunately, the way things are going might be the other way around for the Chargers.
Oh. So where are you sitting? What have you got?
I had to, put my money around and see how I could go see the most amount of games and everything like that. So the Cowboys won. I booked second. So way up the back. And I'm on the top of the grandstand looking down at everything that the players will look like ants.
Yeah.
Relatively. So the difference between the Cowboys and the Chargers game was a massive cost. So if you're a front bay, horizontally middle of the field, that was at the Chargers game, $800 US.
Oof.
$800 US, which is probably about
20 grand Australian.
$1,400 around. My math's probably not perfect there. And I was like, geez, that's expensive, right? So I paid about 700 Australian to be kind of middle of the field, second, third bay up.
Yeah, you can smell the deep heat.
Yeah, exactly. At least, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then for the Cowboys game, if I was going to take the front bay, it would $1,800 US is the basis there.
Almost double.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so it's a grand extra in US just to go to the Cowboys one. So obviously they're America's team. They're more popular.
Team.
They're the most watched team in America, and any of the broadcasts or anything like that. So there is a massive price tag. Yeah. So it really depends where you're going or who you're seeing in a home game, how much it's going to go. So if you go to the Panthers, as you said, cheap as chips because they're not a very good team at the moment, and no one wants to go watch them play.
I think it was it got to the end when it was snowing. It was like 20 cents a seat. Some people.
$7.40 I thought was the last price I saw. Yeah, last season. So they're struggling to fill stadiums, and look, it's a good thing for the teams as well. Like you end up getting more money in, but what were the Texans tickets last year, and what are the Texans tickets this year? But at the college game, bit cheaper. You can find a good seat there. Pretty
Was
cheap.
it hard to get the tickets?
Not at all. So you just go on, look, there's StubHub, which is a big one in America.
It's a resale.
It's a
one,
resale site.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of warnings on that, so just do your research before you go on there, because the seller of the ticket can deny your purchase at any point.
Oh.
Which is a pain. So I went through Ticketmaster for all of my tickets.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, which was really easy, guaranteed tickets come in.
It's the seller.
And they have resale sites within Ticketmaster as well.
Definitely.
So what's good is always got the stadium seat perspective. The thing they do really well, so you can see what part of the field you're looking at, and the screen. I nearly went for the college game if I paid a little bit extra to sit row 3 on the touchdown, like in the end zone.
Oh.
And I was
ball.
In my mind,
That's the dream,
yeah,
right?
that's the dream. Yeah, ball, jump into the stands, the Lambo leap type of thing. And I was looking at that. I just didn't justify spending the money. I kind of regret it already, but you can be like it was $200 US, so it's not crazy. If you've got,
if we were dollar for dollar, you'd take that.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
it's so hard.
it's
to
just
justify.
an extra. That's one night's accommodation or 2
Yeah,
nights
and you're traveling, so it's already expensive.
Yeah.
and it's not as if you can really. America's not. It's cheap when you get there, but it's not cheap.
It's not cheap now.
No,
So booking accommodations, travel, that type of
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
so it all adds up. But I thought that'd be a cool perspective.
And you got a tip. That's so confusing. I still not.
I'm not going to do well with the tipping. I've got
Yeah.
Alice with me for the first half of the trip.
Yeah.
She's going to help me.
Get your rhythm.
Yeah.
Get your rhythm. Get your rhythm. I must say, when I traveled, a guy told me a thing. It was like when you go to the bar, he's like, have you got 50 on you? Like, $50? He's like, yeah, just trust me. And I'm like, okay. He's like, give it to me. I gave it to him. He's like, he gave me a $50 tip on the first order of drinks.
Okay.
2 drinks only. And I was like, whoa, like that's a huge tip. And he's like, it'll pay off. Every time would be 5 deep at the bar. He'd just, yep.
Holler at you.
Yeah, like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Same again? And I was like, oh, this is the trick.
And so it actually does earn access.
Yeah, get
right.
access. And I'm like, oh.
Okay.
But I wouldn't play that book.
I'm
That was a
not
while
going to be
ago.
doing that,
And
mate,
we
I'll
were
tell
dollar
you.
for dollar back then. So when I was traveling, it was a while ago.
Alice sees me be like, don't worry, homie told me. And I pass over 120 bucks.
She says, who'd you get this about? Homie, don't do it. Don't do it. I never trust that bloke. And this is Macca's. Why are you giving them a $50 tip?
Yeah, we call homie the Bigfoot investor. He knows what's going on.
How to lose your money in 20 days with Homie.
Football cards.
Yeah.
Tipping like a moron.
You got to have a hustle now, baby. You got to have a hustle.
Oh man, I'm so excited, and I'll definitely be looking for some content for us. and
Yeah,
some
I
merch,
can't.
so.
Yeah, I can't wait for the call-ins personally.
Yeah,
It's
we
gonna-
don't know how we're going to do the episodes then, but I think there'll be, either I'll package something up and send you a little report.
I think I'm also flirting with the idea of getting some guests on as well during that period.
Yeah,
But it's like they've got to be as good as you, and that's hard to find.
number
so-
one, Sandy, right there.
Oh, she'll get it. She'll get a run, but that'll be 4.5 hour episode.
Yeah. If anyone is listening and they know someone they think could, who would want to, even just to come on for a little bit. Like,
Yeah, we'll do
holler out.
guest little ones, even just a specific game or something, just to break up my monotone voice. We'll really reach out.
Look, if you think, oh, geez, it feels a bit arrogant, it's podcasting.
Yeah.
Arrogance is what we're about.
Think about this right now. We're sitting on a couch in my apartment, talking
Thinking someone wants to hear this.
thinking anyone who cares about this. So jump on. Jump on.
This will be a good episode to whack on YouTube. So we've been putting those apps out if you ever want to catch one. And then you can sit on the couch with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all hanging.
I've actually left a spot right in the middle for you. It's a gap.
This could be you.
Lovely gap. But, my creepy hand is just... So I'm sorry about that. Employee discount.
All right, let's take a break. And we're going to come back with some headlines to jump into. All right, we're back. We're back. And one of the headlines, homie.
We're back.
This is the first episode you're going to edit. You're going to love it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm making my work hard for myself.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
One of the headlines that came in before we started the show that we haven't had a chance to talk on is it's an election year. And we know it's the Biden-Trump thing. That's all going on at the moment. I will land in the States 4 days after the election, which should be... maybe I'll just do some reporting on that.
Yeah, that'll be...
Yeah. Maybe it's Cowboys
We'll do a
disguise isn't the
crossover.
only one I need.
Yeah, that might be safe space there.
Red hat, maybe,
Yeah.
if I'm a bit worried. But there was a surprise candidate who was going for VP. Aaron Rodgers was talked about for, I think, 2 weeks to run for vice president with Kennedy Jr., who is a wild card at best.
Oh, he's this story was amazing for me. This is everything I love about. Again, we've had a lovely crossover, and it's NFL and it's politics.
Politics,
now.
yeah. Everything we love about
We already
America.
had the conspiracy theory rolling around with Tay-Tay and the election, and now we've got one of the most iconic people in NFL potentially. This is the funniest thing about it. He didn't knock down this at all.
No, he didn't say it wasn't happening.
No. So the story comes out, basically John F. Kennedy Jr., who's basically, he's going to be an independent, would say, the most high profile independent outside of the two major parties.
Yeah.
And there's potential for him to be in the conversation, and everyone's like, who's your vice president going to be?
Yeah. And he said Aaron Rodgers or someone.
My good friend Aaron Rodgers is going to be considered.
If he can lead the Green Bay Packers, he can run this country.
And then it was this idea, because I'm like, this is America.
It could happen.
This could happen.
We said earlier, 8 years ago, that it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That'd be ridiculous. But we were proven wrong.
Yeah.
And in the VP role, like Dick Cheney held it once. And this is a man who shot someone while hunting and still got to be.
And there was this idea that it's like, there's a chance of this, but it was never shut down.
No, it wasn't.
And he kept it open conversation, and it rolled so aggressively for 2 weeks straight. And I was just thinking, would he do both?
Well, I saw the headlines were like, Jets fans worried.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, he's going to abandon his NFL career to run for vice president. He can't even work within his own team.
And it was like, and I would love to see him tested under the lens of a VP. It would be amazing, because he's as controversial as anybody out there. And you're free to have your opinions, but I don't align with it.
I don't know if he should be free to have his opinions.
Yeah, he's free to have them in a place of no power.
Yeah. So in a dark room with no microphones.
And I was just like, that was one of the best stories. And I just thought to myself, can I live in this world, like, where this exists?
Yeah.
This story exists. And I'm like, it was,
if it had to be anyone.
Yeah, it was found out to be sort of like a media stunt.
Yeah.
But everyone ran with it, and I enjoyed everyone running with it.
I would love that presidential debate, wouldn't you?
Oh,
it would just
be such
unreal.
a good thing. It'd be such a good thing. I just love how he didn't shut it down. He's just a troll sometimes.
I just don't know if I like him.
It's hard.
It's hard to like him, and I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but this keeps happening.
Yeah, so many times, and it's like, are you just being provocative to be provocative?
Yeah.
Or do you actually believe what you're saying? Because I always get scared of that as well.
Well, he had comments on the Sandy Hook massacre was a hoax. And it's just so dangerous. And he's suing Jimmy Kimmel for comments and jokes they've made back and forth to each other, and said he was on Epstein's plane. And
yeah, it was funny. It's because Jimmy should be the one suing him.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that went on to Pat McAfee's show and implied that Jimmy was on the list.
Yeah, and the list got released the next day. And he wasn't.
And then he didn't really backtrack that either. So it's like, it's a polarizing one. He's a polarizing character. I'm definitely on the love to hate relationship with Aaron Rodgers, and we'll see how that Achilles holds up. But I personally haven't seen more than 3 seconds of game time.
I hope for our sake that he plays so he can stop getting distracted by other opportunities.
I want the Jets to be tested too. Yeah. I'm sick. I hate the out.
We've had the questions for 2 years now. Same things rolling through. Now they've got all these primetime games.
Oh,
step up to the plate, guys.
Yeah, or go away.
Yeah, or just go. Yeah,
it's because it's got to be. It's a bang or bust season for them.
And this is Aaron's last year.
Contracted. Yeah. And so they put all this into it. They've done nothing with it.
Yeah.
We said it last week. What a wasted season it was.
It was, for all of us. We're not even Jets fans.
Yeah.
But we all wanted to know.
Yeah, and it's like, we'll get tested.
Yeah.
What other headlines what popped across your screen you could not click on?
Well, something that's happening at the moment is, people go, who's won the off-season? Who's lost the off-season? It's clear as day that the Chiefs are having historically the worst off-season I think you could ever have. And it's across multiple fronts. After what they just had, Super Bowl winning season again, Taylor Swift media again, we go into, I think, the biggest headline, which made Australian news now, which is showing how big the platform is for the NFL and the Chiefs right now, was Harrison Butker making these comments coming out at a college. I believe he got an honorary degree and he spoke at a college graduation.
Yeah, it's a big thing in America where they get a guest in to basically send you on graduation speech, and it's supposed to be motivating, inspiring, congratulating you, and you go on your way to the success that you want after. This is where it gets. I really struggle with this one because it's the idea. It was a Catholic environment, and he's come with the lens of his faith, and he said basically the controversy is that he's said that women. I'll paraphrase. Women should be happy that after this they become a wife and live at the house. Yeah,
and then despite your degree, good job.
Good job, but your really, greatest purpose is going to be a mother and a wife.
Homemaker.
And it's and everyone's like, whoa,
yeah, okay. The most and this is personal, and it's across the Chiefs that people are expecting reactions to. And look, there's a lot of lenses, as you said. There's a religious thing. It's like, okay, yes, you're entitled to your faith. My perspective on that is you can't impose that on anyone else. But he was in an environment that believes in that, Old Testament, Leviticus, that type of thing. He didn't only attack women. He went after LGBTQIA plus community and abortion as well. Basically, the strongest conservative beliefs you can put on. The response from the Chiefs, 0.
Yep.
They talked to Patrick Mahomes. I believe he was not dismissive.
Patrick Mahomes, we've got Travis Kelce. They all come and said, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's got his faith. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a great guy. But it's not as... there's a case if it was a media person asking him a direct question and he answered it, but this is a planned speech to people that have just potentially on the greatest day of their life. If you're a female sitting in that audience, which I'm not, but I've tried to speak to some to get their perspective, and it's like that could be the greatest day of their life.
Yeah.
And they're being told by someone who should have better perspective
to stop right there.
This is not your greatest moment. Yeah. Your moment is to be subservient to a male and be in the home.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you dare get to tell people how to live their life?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think, I don't know, when we'd had a chat about this last night at dinner. And my reaction to it was almost dismissive. But I'm in a different situation, obviously being white, straight male. But the women I'm surrounded by, I know instantly would say, well, that's BS. Yeah. And I'm not even giving it the time of day, which is the reaction it does deserve. And that's in that way I've gone, it doesn't even matter because that's such landfill. But there are people in groups and communities and associations where there's a couple of males in the room going, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's just obviously not what we're about.
Yeah, and I found he then came out after and said people are attacking my faith.
Yeah,
and
which I think is
again, I think that's you're playing a card.
Yeah,
and I think the biggest thing for me is you can have your faith, your opinion, your ideology, but don't push it onto people. You don't have the right to push it onto people, and then if you do, don't be upset because people call you an arsehole.
Yeah.
Because you're being an arsehole. You're telling someone he wouldn't be happy with people telling him how to live his life.
Exactly right.
And I talked about this perspective before, and it's like I think he's lost the perspective that his job is a child's game.
Oh, yes.
He's living the dream of a child and gets paid to do it.
Yes.
You don't get to tell people what
they
can
live. And can't do. Yeah, exactly right.
If you've got a dream, you live it as long as you possibly can because that's what we want.
Yeah.
It's
the American dream. I thought that whole reason was they can be free and do whatever they like to do.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know the people's story that got them to that point. And if you're a young lady sitting in that room, you might have gone through a mountain of struggles. You could be the first person in your family to get to that point.
Yeah.
You could have broken down so many barriers to get to that point. And then to be told by a white male who kicks a ball for a job.
Yeah.
That your greatest thing should be to be a home wife.
Yeah.
I think get some perspective.
Yeah, bugger off, Harrison.
Yeah, and it's I struggle with it, and it's for those women, we're proud of you.
Yeah.
go live the life you want. And wherever you get to, just make sure you keep that door open for the next people behind you. Don't shut it for people.
Yeah. It's exactly something we talked about with Charlotte as well. It's able to do that and bring them up. So, no, I think well said there, homie. It's a bloody frustrating. It just shits me, honestly.
But the news for the Chiefs doesn't stop here.
But it doesn't stop here.
The Chiefs.
You think it couldn't get worse.
This might be a Chiefs episode in the end, everyone.
All right. Well, I actually...
Luckily we're on the couch.
I have to actually bring up the articles because I don't want to miss one.
I know. We've had a running list of Chiefs stories since basically off-season.
Yeah, and like maybe it's a good thing we've held it for this episode because we've collected a couple. Rashi Rice. We've talked about this one on the show.
Yep.
High-speed chase, 7-car accident, I believe. Yep. Caught fleeing the scene.
Yeah. He was in a Lamborghini.
Yeah, going about 190 miles or something.
Okay, let's just start with you're in a Lamborghini. They are a very noticeable car.
Yeah.
People are going to look and think that person has money.
Yep.
Oh, wait, he looks very familiar.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he plays for the Chiefs.
And
walking away from his phone.
Anytime there's an accident, people have their phones up instantly.
Instantly.
And he's caught running off. So not great. This type of thing does happen a lot in the NFL. The cars and young kids, new cars, high speed, new fame. Not a shock. Weirdly, not the worst one.
Yeah, it's interesting that this has been overshadowed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So defensive lineman Isaiah Buggs is facing 2 warrants for second-degree cruelty to dogs that he locked in his property without food or water. So one dog actually had to be sadly put down because of this. And this one's, almost swept under the rug. Again, the Chiefs have not made any comment on Rashi or this guy. And it just continues to going on. Like, I mean, what are they doing to all the PR that they just got for free?
Yeah.
From Taylor and Travis.
I would love to see the memos that are getting sent out of the Chiefs.
Oh,
but apparently
God.
they're not. They're just not addressing anything at the moment because we're in the quiet time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hopefully
just
it sweeps under. This is when you don't want it to happen, though.
That's the problem with how big the NFL is, though, because they know they can wait a week and it's gone.
It's gone,
Harrison Butker, we're talking about it. We're probably at the end of it.
Oh,
People have forgotten about it. They're probably like, what are you guys bringing that up?
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
Because we've got new things to worry about.
And then this one came out. Wanya Morris and Chukwuebuka Godric, and I'm probably mispronouncing that, arrested in Johnson County, Kansas on misdemeanor possession of weed.
Yeah.
Both got bail and everything like that. But, Chiefs said they're aware of the arrest and there's no further comment. But the Chiefs are just in disarray.
Well, you've actually missed another one.
What?
Rashi Rice has 2 incidents from the offseason.
No way.
He punched a reporter in the face, or a photographer in the face. He's on assault charges as well.
Rashi. Rookie error.
Yeah, rookie error. The story's a weird one. I don't have the proper details here. I should have had it with me. But he basically, everyone's like, oh, he's punched a photographer in the face. Okay. Like, he's obviously got his face, pissed him off.
Yep.
No, he invited him back. The old mate thought he was coming to meet him. And he just punched him in the elevator or something like that.
God.
Yeah.
Really?
So he's he will definitely be missing some game time.
Yeah, there's going to be, because these penalties get handed out late for off-season stuff. And, it's kind of like, I think the Chiefs should be a bit more outspoken. They're not really doing much as a brand.
No, they are not. The support they've driven, like, I was even starting to get on board the Chiefs as we're in the division. We don't love the Chiefs because they're our enemy.
Yeah.
We want to beat them.
Yep.
And I was like, no, give them credit. They are who they are. They turn up, they perform, they win the big game.
Yep.
And then it's like, okay, you're not going to counter any of this conversation?
This is a team, well, the day we were recording, they were just at the White House for the second time.
Yeah.
With Biden and up on the platform and everything just like they did last year. And it's a very happy puff piece that they need right now.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, you guys are on an international stage.
Yeah.
These things are coming down. Like, a HR meeting's not going to fix this.
No.
Something cultural's here. Like, you're sounding a lot more like the Raiders than you are the Chiefs right now. The Raiders in there, at least the early 2000s.
And they're big squads, and you'll have outliers and different things.
Yeah.
But it's like you can address it.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like, tell us more than just a one Instagram post that we support everyone.
The social media team. I did have to laugh in the grimness of Harrison Butker's, comments, because on the day when this was going viral, the Chiefs social media just put a happy birthday post up for their punter. Oh, well, look at this. We've got another guy who kicks the ball. And he's pretty good.
I also liked everyone was waiting for the New Heights episode to come out.
Yeah.
And it was like Travis did pretty well of like holding the space. And then I love how Jason just entered it with like a shit ass joke about
it. Trying to get Kylie in the kitchen.
Yeah. And I just saw it. Like, humor cracks through. I like humor because it's a serious topic, but we're addressing it because we're going to have an open conversation.
I think the humor it just outlines how ridiculous
that's
the
right.
comments are.
It's
and you know, Kylie Kelsey, we've talked about a lot on the pod. She's incredible. And she spoke at a college graduation as well. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, I got distracted by another story where she got accosted by a fan, wanted a photo. Her and Jason were going to dinner.
Yeah.
And she was like, and then she started at her. And Kylie Kelsey's pretty big. She's like 6'1"-ish.
Yeah.
She'll murder this chick. And she's got at her. She's like, get away from me. I
wouldn't be challenging anyone near Jason.
Drop a line.
Either.
It's online, but it's just like this. Karen goes at her, and then she's like, do you know who I am? And it's like, you can kind of see Jason in the background. It's like, she's got this.
Yeah. He doesn't need to step in there. Yeah. Oh, wow. God.
Some of the stuff they must deal with.
I can't even imagine it. But, you know, Jason's now confirmed to be on the panel. I think Fox Sport, is it?
Yeah, big time now.
I'm excited for that. So he'll be on the halftime show and the pre-game show, which is awesome. You got Tom Brady. First game of the season, I believe he's covering as well.
I'm not as excited about that.
I know you're not. But this could be the start of something. You know, like, we've talked about this. We're not a massive fan of his interviews.
I think he'll be a great commentator.
I think he could be a fantastic commentator. Yeah. And he's going to have some fun with it. He knows how to get the crowd going. Yeah. And it's a bit interesting being a Raiders part owner and a commentator at the same time.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't commentate Raiders games, I've got no problem with it.
Which games?
Raiders
games. Yeah. True. Yeah.
Yeah, so just stay away from that so we don't see any biasy.
Yeah. He's been, and I don't know if anyone else has caught this, but he's been a massive critic of the current game. And he was out of the game, like retired for like 3 months. I feel, or it wasn't 3 months. Probably 6 months.
Is it because he's not playing and winning?
It's kind of that. He's like, the game's changed. Everyone's soft now. Like instantly reverted into like, that was then, this is now type of thing. And it's, I don't really like that attitude of you not liking the game. You don't sound like you enjoy the game as it is. The game's changed. It's quicker.
Has to change.
It has to change. And the rules are changing with it, and we have to adapt. I don't like the perspective that he's going to do the back in my day every 30 seconds on the call.
We were this morning, we chucked on the Ravens of 1998 or something.
Yeah, early 2000s Ravens.
They can't exist in this day and age. That is some scary shit. They can't exist now.
They basically said we played like...
We murdered people.
It's actually illegal to play the way we did.
Yeah, it's like you can't recreate what we did because you'd be in jail for it. And not that they were mean, but they just monstered people in a very uncomfortable way.
It's great to watch, knowing it's done. But, that's the dawn of the era of CTE and everything we're trying to avoid these days. Okay, another bit of news came in. Unless you got something.
Nope.
Now, Bears have been confirmed for the Hard Knocks in season. So we talked about Giants are doing a pre-season or off-season Hard Knocks. The pre-season into season Hard Knocks will be with the Chicago Bears.
So this one aligns with the Jets of last year.
This one aligns with the Jets of last year. And it looks really kind of similar to me in what this is going to be about. You've got a brand new quarterback. At least they're rookies. I'm a bit more interested. But you got Caleb Williams coming in. Roma Dunze.
Yeah, I'd like to see Roma Dunze. I want to see some of his airtime.
We'll get to see Keenan Allen as well, which would be exciting.
Do you reckon we'll get Torrey Taylor? Do you reckon they'll let the special teams have a little look?
I doubt it.
Special teams, special players.
Special teams, special players.
What's up, brother? Now, that was the story of the season as well. We'll get back to that as well.
But yeah, I'm quite excited for the Bears one. I kind of wish, though, like I was picking a team that were really in the dumps. This feels like they're already on the way up before they get on Hard Knocks.
We're talking about puff pieces. Like this is a puff piece, right? To show how good the draft pick is.
That's it. I feel when the Lions, and look, I could be wrong here, but when the Lions were picked, it wasn't flashy. They had Jared Goff, who, pretty good, but everyone's kind of like, oh, well, he's just it's the only best quarterback they could get, I guess. And there wasn't really hype around it. Amon-Ra, had a couple of players, and they were exciting together. Jamal Williams, great in that one. But no one was thinking, wow, they're going to go take it to the next level. And they took it to the next level. And I think that's what we want to see is the teams that, are patchwork, not touted as the best. Because Jets last year, the narrative was they were going to be the best team because Aaron Rodgers joined them, most exciting. Bears definitely is the most exciting, but I feel like we're giving them.
I think
they're already up.
The thing I struggle with is they're picking the team that's big. They're picking a team that hasn't proven success.
Yeah.
They've got the lens of success. Like they got the core elements of success.
Yeah.
And then it's like
the building blocks are there.
You've gone and done this, so we're gonna follow you. But can't we have a team that's building?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I want to see.
It's like
I'd almost like, and I'm pretty sure the Falcons have been on it in the last 5 years, but I kind of want the Falcons one.
The Falcons would be cracker right
You've
now.
got Kirk there, and like everything's a patchwork.
Because they've had a list that's supposed to have performed in the last 3 years.
Yes,
so it is hard knocks for them because it's
everything was going. It was meant to go right for you.
Yeah,
the building blocks didn't work.
But you still got the elements of it all, and you're like, this is our last puzzle piece.
Yeah,
is Kirk Cousins going to be the puzzle piece?
Yeah,
and it's like that'd be great to watch.
That's the one I want to see.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see the Saints, where it's like you've done nothing, you are nothing. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happened.
It's like when we talk about teams when we're starting the season. It's like, what's this team's narrative? What are they telling me?
Yeah, and
it's like they don't tell me. These teams don't tell me that they've got anything going for them.
Yeah,
and it's like you know who I wouldn't mind watching this season because coming into these episodes, I'm really curious about them. Is the Titans.
Okay, yeah, because we don't know what they're doing.
We don't. It's like, what are you doing? I would like. It's like I just want the team that gives me a bit more insight into like what's happening behind the room.
Do you have a plan?
Yeah, it's like, are you? Because you're telling me you're in the window. I don't think you're in the window.
I don't think you're in there, and I hope you know that because it's gonna look tough. You got Mayo Boy stepping up, right?
Speaking of Mayo Boy, does it like we haven't had any really good. Nothing came out of the draft or anything.
The rookies are behaving so far.
Yeah, does that mean we have to? If we lose the what is it called? Not Supercoach. It's called
Tipping Comp? Fantasy.
So because we got nothing new, if we lose the tipping comp, do we have to drink the Mayo drink again?
Yeah, well you will.
Arrogance. Hope you're fresh on your rookies.
Yeah, I have a lot in the draft this year, you know. Yeah. I'll do my best. Yeah, I think there might be a cup in it for both of us.
Oh, this is dangerous.
I'm sure there will be characters. It is undeniable. Last year we had Big Dom, he's back at the Eagles now, and you've got Tommy DeVito and stuff like that. There are just people we don't know who will pop up.
That's what I love, like sitting here right now, just like that whole list that came through the draft and thinking, probably the one that's featuring at the moment is the guy that went to the Bills,
Keon Coleman. Yeah,
he's real. They're really lighting him up. I find him quite entertaining.
I did see someone say, just because you're funny doesn't mean you're going to be a good player.
Yeah, but I think they're going, this is so refreshing after
step on. We have a guy who doesn't hate us.
He's happy.
Have the Bills just taken a personality hire?
Yeah, they definitely have, and they're running it, and it's great. He's been probably the most entertaining thing in the last 3 weeks.
Oh, imagine the Bills social media team's going, thank God, looking at the Chiefs
so good.
over there.
This is so good. Get me this guy. What a flavour.
All right, let's take a break, and then we're going to talk about what we're doing in the next few weeks. Some divisional reviews coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're back. Oh, dear. This is too much fun being together. It's such a sidetrack.
Yeah, I was like, is there any rules on how long a podcast episode can go? Is anyone comfortable with a 4 hour?
Is there a Guinness World Record, you reckon, for the longest podcast?
Oh, like Joe Rogan's are like 17 and a half hours.
Oh, yeah. Huberman's as well. They're 3 hour podcasts.
Oh, it's like it'd be like us just leaving the mic on and just continue to live our day. That's where it's like.
It'd be the same quality of chat.
Yeah. I know, sometimes I'm like, you can't ramble for that long. It's like the guy at the bar last night. He's like, we put a pool table in here because you'll get sick of your mate quick enough. It doesn't matter how long. I'm like, okay. It's like, we're fine.
And he said, he's like, I don't know how much you like each other, but you might get sick of it.
Yeah. It's like, mate, we've been here for 3 minutes.
You guys bored yet? Want to go crack them up?
Table there, guys, if you need it. Jukebox over there. Go play some tunes if you like.
We've got to continue our running pool comp.
Oh, yeah.
Today, I think.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance. We've got tradies finishing early.
All right. So what we thought we'd talk about now is what we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, pretty much leading us all the way up to the preseason. We did this last year. We loved these episodes, and I'm a massive fan of these because if you go, I haven't been paying attention since the Super Bowl, or I'm a brand new fan, I'm just trying to get an interest, I want to know the lay of the land. What we do is we run through each division, so AFC West, East, South, North, NFC West, East, South, North, and we tell you about every team in those divs, where they stand in their division, and how the whole system should look going into this year.
Yeah, we look at the rookies they've brought in through the draft system, the contract extensions they've done through the offseason as well.
New coaches,
any of that sort of key. You don't go too in depth, so it's not going to be like listing stuff. We still have our normal conversational stuff, but we just want to give you the depth of the team.
Yeah.
And like we said about the Titans earlier, what we think they're doing.
Yeah, and look, there's a lot of changes, and if you're new as well, you're not going to remember everyone. But if you're trying to pick your team and stuff, you get a couple of key players, and things like that. And Holmy challenges me every year. Well, now it's 2.
Yeah.
To come up with my predictions for how the division's going to go 1 to 4. Keep in mind, if you win the division, you're in the playoffs.
Yep.
So that's why that's important. And I've got to put a headline to what's going to happen at the end of the season. We got some right, which was actually not bad.
It was actually a lot better than I thought we were going to.
We're going to get, Nostradamus on this and try look into the crystal ball. And then, of course, Holmie's going to try help you out by picking, if you're looking for a new team, if you're trying to join in, who you should back.
Yeah. And so it is. I already started. I've got it ticking along. The brain's ticking.
Have you got maybe a sneak peek for us on who you might be thinking about at the moment?
I don't want to give too much away because I haven't even decided myself.
Okay, all right.
The Chargers, the box of hats is still, still closed at the moment, Cad.
Yeah, okay.
I might open it up and see if you want to pick one out later, but it's
okay.
But if we're talking sleepers,
yeah,
like that's a different story. It's Is there anyone I think could shock us this season?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you this. Is there someone that, not established, not already that we think, like the Ravens, they're established now, right?
Yeah.
They should.
Well, that was the thing. It's like, what is class as a sleeper?
Yeah.
If you've made the playoffs, are you a sleeper anymore?
I can say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are teams like that in the NFC who did shock us.
Yeah, probably Green Bay.
Green Bay, yeah, definitely.
That was a shock.
And I have strange feelings about Green Bay. I'm not quite sold on them. I wasn't sold even when they went on that 5-game win streak on the tail end of last season.
It was like patches last year.
Yeah.
It's like, I kind of feel like, I get the feeling they're going to go down. Their list is so young.
Yeah.
It's like, are they going to have the dip and then the up again?
What they call it, the sophomore slump, which is generally any rookie in his second year doesn't make it, and in the second year has a little bit of a plateau in stat wise.
Well, we have that for players as well, which is interesting. It's like, which rookie is going to turn back up, or
because we want CJ to come with the heat, right? Like, you almost eliminate him from that because he played so well, so naturally. But he's not immune to it.
So is the Texans allowed to be a sleeper anymore?
I don't think so.
Nah, I agree with
that. I want to be, who's going to come and shock us?
Actually, I think I've got one. Here's one that's been floating around with. And would you class the Bengals as a sleeper?
Last year, no. But because 4th in their div last year from last season, Joe wasn't in, I could see it. Yeah.
Because we forgot about them.
We have, yeah.
Like, this is the thing about rolling this season. You're going to forget that team exists. And I think that they're one that... We had them number 1 last year.
We did. We had them to win the bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like they lost their quarterback.
Yeah.
They kept their dream running for way longer than anyone.
Was it Jake Browning, the backup quarterback? He was unreal. And they did have a win-loss record that, if they were in any other division, could have got them into the playoffs. Unfortunately, they're in a very tough division.
They don't play
right
the
now.
South.
Yeah.
So
well, exactly right. Yeah.
But it's those kind of ones that I'm interested to, once we really dive into the divisions. It's like they're a sleeper, I can see.
I like that. I think just because we just talked about them, the Falcons are my disruptors of the year. I don't know sleepers, but we talk about disruptors.
Yeah, I like disruptor tag.
I think
it's a
the
good
Falcons
one as well.
are on a disruptor tag this season because there's something in there that could work.
Maybe we could have that counter through the episodes where you could just like, this is my disruptor.
Yeah. They're almost a wild card. Like they might not take it all the way, but they're going to disrupt.
Yeah, they're going to cause havoc for everyone else.
Yeah. Well, how did they get a win here?
Yeah.
They shouldn't have beat the Chiefs. But they might just pull it off.
Well, they're an interesting team. It's like the South again. Do you think there's an opportunity that we get to 10 games into the season and we're not talking about the South?
No. I don't, because the Bucks as well. Like, I think we forget about the Buccaneers.
Well, do they get to be a sleeper now?
I think if you think they're going to do well, I think it'll be surprising. But I think they just don't have the flash. I love Baker, and I think everyone's kind of more fallen in love with him again.
Yeah, I did at the end of it.
Yeah.
And Mike White, I was like, Mike Evans. Sorry.
Mike Evans, yeah. Mike White's terrible.
Why does his name stick in your head though?
You've got a player.
Oh, that's right. He was in the cards. That's why.
I saw that. I think maybe I have it now.
I hope I traded that one out.
But with Mike Evans, and like it doesn't have the flash or gleam to it because it is in the division that it's in.
Yeah.
But that's a question. Is it Falcons? The Saints aren't even in the battle anymore. Mentally, I guess, in the narrative.
I think it's exciting just to have these little questions as you're rolling into a new season. But that's what those recaps. No, it can't be recap.
I guess, but previews.
Precap. Is that a word?
I like it.
Let's workshop that one, Kat. Maybe before
divisional precaps.
Yeah, we might workshop that before we get it done.
Well, we're planning these episodes now, and something reminded us.
Yes.
On the last episode of the year, I had just fumbled together a theme song for our segment. So
bring 'em back.
Mine was headlines and projections. Yours, homie's fan favorite.
Yep.
We only got to play them once. I got a few comments at the time, not overly positive.
No, I got a few messages as well. But we love them.
I love them. All right, so
should we run it?
I want to run it. See if anyone remembers it, and I want maybe some time's passed. Maybe you trust us a little bit more, and you think these are a little bit better. Headlines and projections. There you go. Headlines and projections.
Headlines and projections. That thing runs in my head. That thing runs in my head.
I could see maybe it needs a facelift. Maybe it needs a bit more energy. But you like it?
Retro. We might head to Fitzroy after this. You can get $60 for a shirt with holes in it. That's vintage, mate.
Vintage. 1 year. These are all done by AI. So, if you're scared of them taking your jobs, you want to submit a song, please do.
Oh, that's true.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, if you can do better, send it in. We won't pay you.
Yeah. So it's a love job.
No, we'll give you something. Maybe some merch,
maybe some merch.
Oh, that might roll out later in the year as well.
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah. But let's go to my favourite one, which is your one. It's such a banger. I love that one. Yeah. Like that pumps me up. I think we need that in all your reels as well.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's like, maybe we'll be like, finally we'll pop off on one of these social media things.
Going viral for our theme music.
Yeah. Blue eyes, 6'5". It's fan favorites.
If if you strongly opposed, let us know. I can think about it. But I think we're going to keep them.
It's going to have real strong pushback not to get a roll.
So, fan favorites, you're not going to give us a sneak peek there.
Nah, you're not getting anything.
Okay, so I'm going to keep my cards close to my chest as well in that. But let's talk about the players because we don't get to go in depth on them. I want to ask you, who in the AFC do you think, a sleeper player, a game changer, someone who's coming through who can actually turn a team around?
Turn around or blow them?
Drive a team, yeah.
Yeah, the player for me, he's just signed a massive contract.
Yeah.
And I'm so interested. Obviously, I picked him up in my fantasy team. Once they get on your fantasy team and you've got a real lens on them and you're loving them, and it's Nico Collins.
Okay.
And I loved him last year, and then he popped off.
Yeah.
I was like, this is brilliant.
Is this his, third year?
This will be his third.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he landed a massive contract. I think it's 3 years, $75 million.
Wow, okay.
So everyone's saying we're on here.
Yeah.
They've got Diggs in, which I'm worried it's going to upset the balance.
Yeah.
But
I keep forgetting that actually.
Yeah. And you got Tank Dell there. Don't forget that as well.
Yeah, man's back from being shot.
But Nico Collins is the one for me. I just think if he goes and with CJ, good luck.
Yeah.
Like this team will go, and that's Nico Collins for me. I just can't wait to watch him again this season. He might be the card I actually.
That's the one you want.
That's the card I want. Yeah.
I think that's a great one. I'm trying to think of...
Maybe that's the lens to apply as well. It's like, what card would you buy?
Yeah,
what player card would you...
Because that is, you are investing in their future.
It's like, I want that card. Who's that player?
That's true.
You got AFC? You going to stay AFC for me?
Let me go AFC. You know, I'll go NFC if I can.
Yeah.
And this is a rogue one, very rogue. But I actually think that Justin Fields could turn the Steelers into something.
I don't think that's as rogue as my brain tells me.
Well, the narrative at the moment, I was talking to Dad about this the other day, is that it's likely Russell Wilson will start off. They even, despite if Justin does better than Russell Wilson at camp at the Steelers, they're still going to run with him for a bit. Now, we joked, they'll use one quarterback for front half of the season and one quarterback for the end half.
Yeah.
But I see Russell Wilson as a lateral move. I don't see it as it's going to be any big change or difference. I think something like Justin, the young version of Russell Wilson, effectively, he's got decent receivers in there now. He's got a good defense to support him. He's quick with his feet. I think it's a player that can unlock the Steelers and kind of make them competitive.
I think the relationship with him and Russell Wilson could create that growth as well.
Yeah.
I can't see Russell Wilson sabotaging him.
No.
I feel like he'll try and create a great player there. And if we see the upside, those last 8 games, was it? I don't know if it was that many.
Yeah.
That finished off the season with Justin Fields at the Bears. But they were strongly considering keeping him.
Yeah.
They had the number 1 pick and they were still considering keeping him.
Yeah.
There must be a little bit of a worry for them.
I think so. Yeah. And I don't know how the Steelers are going to play this, right? I don't know how it's going to run. I want to see Justin get the full crack. Whoever gets picked, it's going to be a bit of a burden on that player because they will be assessed harshly and early.
The only benefit for the Steelers is no one's expecting a lot from them.
No.
From the quarterback position.
Yeah.
They expect a lot from the Steelers. They expect them to roll into playoffs and do nothing.
Yeah.
If you beat that,
yeah, baby.
if you bring any more than that, you are a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question for you then. Staying on the NFC side, have we forgotten about the Browns? And what do you think about them going in? Because we don't have Flacco anymore, who, did a lot. We don't really know what Deshaun Watson is like as a player. Are the Browns defense going to keep them in this competition? Are we actually worried about them again this year?
Well, when we're talking about individual players and the lens is Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
It's what is he? I don't know.
It's hard to figure out how
it's
he's
an
going to lead
open
it.
question for me. And it's it'll be performance-based. But do I trust him? No. Do the Browns trust him? No.
No, yeah.
Like, they don't think.
They spend too much money on him.
I honestly think they're just waiting for that contract to expire now.
Yeah.
And just doing the best they can. They were good last year.
They were great last year. Yeah.
And it's I enjoyed them. And I bought a hat.
Well, yeah, that's a big thing. Yeah, you actually committed to having Browns
terrible
merch.
logo. And I wore it once.
Yeah.
And got a compliment.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was I think.
Where were you?
I was just down the ghetto. In the ghetto.
Yeah.
No, I was down the street. It was pretty good.
Yeah, wow.
But I was just it's Deshaun Watson. It's what he'll do.
It's on his shoulders. Yeah. What was his injury last year?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I think it was heartstring.
Heartstring?
Yeah, soft. I drink you.
Yeah. I was like, I thought you were going to go for like tugging on his heartstrings or something like that. And I was like, was it knee or something like that?
It was multiples, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was a shoulder and there was 2, wasn't there?
Jeez. So you've overinvested in an injured quarterback who's also a knob, and you don't know where you're going to go as a team that every other part of your team seemingly in the window.
But that's where I find it so hard to support them. And I'm going to have a little bit of the same trouble with the Chiefs now.
Yeah.
Because I can't support you actively.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of what's going on down there.
Yeah, so I'm like, until you show me, and I hate to say it, performance will get rid of that narrative.
Unfortunately, it does. Yeah.
Success will get rid of anything that's a concern.
Yeah.
And but I don't see Deshaun Watson filling that role because they had a 36-year-old Flacco.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Bring so much excitement to a league that was like,
and he's a backup somewhere now. I'll go check where he's at.
He's floating around again.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't keep him.
Well, it's like Gardner Minshew gets a chance to star a role in the Raiders, and we're so excited for that.
On the socials when we said we don't know what the Broncos were doing,
Yeah.
picking picking Bo Nix. They're like, oh, because the Raiders were going to take him. I don't think they were.
No, I don't think they were.
No, I think they're fine with Gardner.
Yeah, I think you should be.
Yeah.
Be proud. Wave that flag.
Because they got a 1 year to clean some salary cap up,
Yeah.
and then they got enough growth to get going again.
Yeah, hopefully. They just need some direction. I think it comes from the
Yeah.
general management for that team, and there's a lot of questions there. Just saw it. Flacco is back up for the Colts, so it brings another interesting one. We've got to see the rookie we didn't get to see last year.
That's good. Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson. That's right. So we've actually, it's kind of like the Jets. We're getting a take 2.
Oh, it's good for him.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
And I think smart play by the Colts, obviously.
Yeah.
You just had your best veteran, you've sent him over to another team, you just take the next best veteran and park in mind.
What a great thing for Anthony, though, because he's learning from two very different styles. He's probably more like Flacco with his height and size.
And his build, yep.
So it might be a really good collaboration there.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. It's exciting. I keep remembering
all this
stuff.
is coming. All
Diggs
this
at the
is coming.
Texans, Henry at the Ravens. Like, it's just...
Oh, Henry at the Ravens. Like that one scares me when I think of it.
I can understand why people get frustrated in a sport where players move all the time. And I know the NBA is notorious as a championship chaser.
Yeah.
But there's... when you're sitting around with your mates, you go, could you imagine if Derrick Henry was on the Ravens?
Yeah.
And then it happens.
Yeah, it's like, what?
Like, any of that stuff, it can happen. It's all possible. And it's so exciting to see these combinations. We don't know why things work in the NFL. There's a million factors, as we say.
Well, the lists are too big.
The lists are too big. Yeah, exactly.
There's so many variables. Yeah.
So when, you go, maybe this is it. What was your great one from last year? If they weren't on the field... It was Deebo Samuel for the 49ers. When Deebo wasn't playing, the 49ers fell apart. You look at the stat line for Deebo, doesn't look that impactful. But when he wasn't there as a checkdown option, they actually struggled, and they had that 3 games that they really ran it tough.
And I think that's it. And the other, we don't get the time to go into the depth, but that's the same for the O-line as well.
Yeah.
When players are missing from the O-line, they have it has a big factor on the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
And so you can't report it all, but there's all these little elements of combinations that would just play out. And so they rebuild them every year. The system is designed to rebuild annually. It's like wipe the slate, keep what you like, and go again. And sometimes they get their mix wrong, and sometimes they get it right. And it's bloody exciting. I don't have to wait 10 years like I do for the Bombers. I can turn it over in a season.
Oh, man. I'm so excited to get in these episodes. And if you, are a fan, a new fan, if you know someone who's just thinking, I am a little bit interested, I can get into it, they're going to watch Netflix games at Christmas. It's so much more accessible now, so get around these next few weeks, because besides maybe a few headlines, that's what we're doing. We're diving in to what this season should look like.
And I will, if they're new to the game, if you want me to, I'll troll them and trick them into going for the Cowboys. If you want me to,
do that.
I will do that to them. But you just tell me, and I can tell them specifically.
Yeah, I heard number one Sandy was having some doubt about the Vikings momentarily. It looked like
not doubt, but she's just like misery.
She's not okay.
We're looking for, we're looking for the unluckiest fan, and you two guys are. I liked it. You coined a phrase that was hardworking fans.
Yeah, Sandy did. Yeah. She goes, it's what you do as a hardworking fan.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, I've never been described as hardworking, but I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like she's realised that she's got an AFL team, an NRL team, and then apparently the Raiders as well,
the Canberra Raiders.
And they're 20 plus.
Yeah.
So she's
up there.
She's looking at, and I did get a critique, and it wasn't that I said she was going to die. It was that I didn't publicly say that I have promised her if the Saints make it to the grand final, I will be taking her no matter the cost, no matter the desire. She is going to the next Saints grand final. I'm not worried.
I love that she thinks that this... that just because it's recorded on this podcast, it is binding.
Yeah.
Like
it's
anything,
contract.
Anything
it's
we say is real.
Yeah. Anything I say is real.
Oh, man. Well, look, a long and relaxed chat, but it's so much fun.
It's great to have you here, man.
Yeah. All day.
Oh, human contact. Ugh. Let's go find some local footy.
Let's go watch some local footy. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, we'll find something.
All right. Here.
Are you saying bye?
Them.
Oh, all right. See you guys.
See you guys.